just got a joint operation banner featuring Skadi, Kal'tsit, Exusiai and Mountain as 6 stars, and Lappland, Akafuyu, Liskarm, Provence, FEater and Tsukinogi as 5 stars. This is a special banner because you can only get the featured 5 and 6 stars. It is really high value for those who are still missing operators like Kal'tsit, Mountain or Lappland. It is a must-pull banner if you don't already have both Kal'tsit and Mountain. We are also getting closer to Gavial Alter banner, and you should consider if you want to save for her. Let's take a look at the 6 stars, starting with Skadi, a duelist guard with a single block and who can buff other abyssal hunters in your team. Her module also allows her to regenerate to reduced max HP and gain attack speed bonus when defeated. The future upgrades to the module will also further buff abyssal hunters in your team. And her other future module will give her more attack against the enemy she is blocking and reducing her redeployment time. This module lets Skadi be used as a fast redeployment health drop that can duel tough enemies. Let's move on to her skills. Skadi's first skill is a long duration attack and attack speed buff. This skill is fine to use before you get E2 Skadi, but after building Skadi further, and especially after her modules, this skill just doesn't provide as much as the other 2 skills do. Her second skill is a passive that gives Skadi a big damage boost with good duration when she is deployed. This skill can't be activated again, and it heavily relies on using Skadi as a heli drop. It will also get a lot better once we get the module that further reduces her redeployment time. And then we have her third skill that gives Skadi a big attack, defense and max HP boost with long duration, but also very high SP cost and initial SP. Thanks to the high initial SP, this skill also functions fairly well as a heli drop skill, as long as your Skadi can survive the time it takes to charge the skill. Thanks to the massive defensive buff this skill provides, it is good for dueling enemies that Skadi couldn't survive against with her second skill. You can also make an interesting combo with this skill's HP boost and the module that allows Skadi to recover to max HP when taking lethal damage. This skill negating the reduced max HP part. Let's have a quick summary. Skadi is best used to duel tougher enemies or to hold very low flow lane. She really needs future modules to shine. She becomes a abyssal hunter buffer or a respectable fast redeployment heli drop duelist. Skadi being one of the oldest 6 stars in the game, many more recent operators tend to outperform her. I think Skadi is a good operator. Despite all the power creep, she is still a formidable duelist. She will also get significantly better with her future modules. Moving on to Kal'tsit. She is a single target medic who can summon monster, and honestly, monster is the reason why you take Kal'tsit. Kal'tsit will always prioritize healing monster and herself, making her a very inefficient healer. And unless monster is on Kal'tsit's range, it will have 0 defense. As if monster's monstro stats weren't enough, if defeated, monster will also stun and deal large amount of true damage to all surrounding enemies. Kal'tsit's future module will boost her healing, and even further future upgrade will make monster trigger the second talent also when it drops below 50% HP. Moving on to her skills. Kal'tsit's first skill is a high uptime, massive defense and physical resist boost to her and monster. This skill makes monster extremely tanky, and while I believe that her other 2 skills provide more than this one, it can be used in rare situations if you just need monster to tank an enemy. Her second skill is again very high uptime, attack speed boost to herself and attack boost to monster, also making monster attack all blocked enemies, so up to 3. The second skill is nice for having monster clear group of weak enemies, but because of Kal'tsit's third skill being so good, it won't see much use. Finally, we have her third skill. Fairly high uptime, massive decaying defense and attack boost for monster, and on top of that, it makes monster deal true damage. Downside being, if monster doesn't kill any enemies during the duration, it will lose half of its max HP. This is the go-to skill, makes monster shred through everything and anything. It can be used to absolutely destroy bosses and tough enemies. Let's have a quick summary. Kal'tsit summons an extremely powerful monster that can destroy everything with skill 3. She's a very poor healer and isn't really used as one. Summoning monster will use a deployment slot. She really needs to be elite too. I think Kal'tsit is a must-have meta-defining operator. Her skill tree is an amazing all-purpose destroying tool. And moving on to Exusiai, an anti-air sniper who prioritizes flying enemies and gives a small attack and max HP buff to herself and a random ally when deployed. Her feature module will increase her attack against flying enemies and allows her to give her buff to 2 random allies. And moving on to her skills. Her first skill is a auto-triggering low SP cost that makes her attack 3 times in a row with increased damage. This skill allows Exu to have frequent small bursts of damage. Overall, it provides less than the other 2 skills and won't see much use. Exusiai's second skill makes her shoot 4 times in a row, with each shot having increased damage. This is her only manual trigger skill, allowing you to have more control over when you want your burst. It is nice to have for situations where you need to be in control of your burst timing. And then we have her third skill. That is a auto trigger and makes Exusiai shoot 5 times in a row, each shot having increased damage. It also reduces Exusiai's attack interval. This is the highest DPS burst skill and should be your go-to skill for any situation that doesn't require strict timings. This skill will destroy low defense targets like paper. Let's have a quick summary. Exusiai is extremely good against low defense targets. She will prioritize flying enemies. She has extremely high DPS, and with buffs, she can be an extremely good boss killer. She struggles against high defense enemies without buffs. I think Exusiai is a good operator. I must point out that I was very close rating her as must have because of how much DPS potential she has with right buffs. She can destroy low defense enemies and is overall a good single target sniper. And moving on to Mountain, a Prowler card who has chance to deal extra damage and reduce enemies' attack with his attacks. He also has extra defense and dodge chance and is an extremely good lane holder and duelist. Let's take a look at his skills. Mountain's first skill is a low SP cost auto trigger that boosts his next attack and hits an additional target. This skill overall provides less than the other 2 skills and shouldn't really be used. His second skill is a low SP cost with infinite duration that can be toggled on and off. It reduces Mountain's attack range and defense while providing more attack, HP regen, additional block, and allows Mountain to attack all blocked enemies. This skill allows Mountain to solo lanes and duel tougher enemies. The HP regen making him very self-sufficient as most enemies can't outdamage it. It will be the go-to skill for most situations. And then we have his third skill that gives Mountain a large attack boost, makes him hit twice, and increases the proc chance of his first talent. It also makes Mountain attack slower and adds a knockback to his attacks. Overall, the third skill is more niche than the second skill, but can be used in situations where the knockback is valuable, such as against low and light enemies. The biggest downfall of the third skill is Mountain's single block. Let's have a quick summary. Mountain is very powerful, low DP cost, lane holder and duelist. His second skill allows him to completely solo lanes and even tougher enemies with his massive regen. He is extremely tanky, but can only block one enemy unless you're using his second skill. I think Mountain is a must-have operator. He's definitely one of the best lane holders and duelists in the game and can even solo some bosses. And then finally, we'll take a look at the 5 stars. The banner has some very decent 5 stars, and I believe that you should at least 10 pull if you don't already have most of them. The most notable ones in my opinion are Lappland as range card that can deal arch damage and silence enemies, and Liskarm being a overall good defender with built-in arch resist. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe for more Arknights content. See you in the next video.